morning!
Welcome to the channel. We're glad you're here.
In our typical videos, we are traveling around, going to different states and national parks and exploring, doing a lot of hiking, but we don't often show you what's going on our rest days, so we thought we'd change it up for this video and show you kind of a behind the scenes of what an average day is like when we're just camping.
We'll also be answering some of the frequently asked questions along the way, so it should be a lot of fun. This is our beautiful campsite overlooking the Tetons way back there. We don't always get this beautiful of a campsite, but I would say that it's honestly not that uncommon for us to find something of equal beauty. One of the questions that we frequently get is, how do we find places to sleep at night? There's three main types of camping. There's stealth camping, which is where you're sleeping somewhere where you're typically not supposed to be. There's established campgrounds, which are places that you go and you pay for it. Then there's dispersed camping, which is on National Forest land or BLM land, where it's totally free and it is legal, which we've been kind of doing the most of nowadays because paying for campgrounds every night would be super expensive for us. There's lots of apps out there that help travelers find places to sleep. We use a few of them, but most commonly we use iOverlander, which is kind of like this community-driven app where people place points on campsites, campgrounds, even laundry, repair shops, all that stuff. So it's pretty awesome.
Sometimes it is hard to find dispersed campsites in certain areas, especially if we're near cities or more populated areas. And in those cases, we've resorted to Harvest Host. And they have really unique stays. So we've stayed at an olive oil farm where we got to do an olive oil tasting. We've stayed at a drive-in movie theater. We've stayed at a winery. But at least you're getting something of value and not just paying to sleep there.
Yeah, at first it might be a little confusing to use all these different apps and stuff, but at some point you get pretty used to what you like and can find things really easily.
He's really good at it. He prides himself. He sounds like, I find the best spot.
Yeah, of course I do. All right, let's head inside and make some breakfast.
Sounds good. Cheers. One thing we love about rest days is having very slow mornings. It's very different when we're going to national parks and waking up super early to get on trails. So definitely enjoying the relaxation of it. We're not working full-time jobs right now. We're on a gap year, but we do have a lot of fun creating content for YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So time to work on some content and get our things posted for the day.
All right, we just had a good working session and now we're getting our blood flowing and we're on a little W. Another frequently asked question is, what is our favorite part about van life? At least my favorite thing is that it just gives us so much flexibility, freedom to go out and explore. Like right now we're walking at our campsite on, what is it, like a random Tuesday or something like that, as opposed to just, you know, being in an office right now and grinding out for some corporate company, right?
I think when we're in jobs, you know, you travel on weekends and you always have to go back to your home base. So it's nice to be able to keep moving on to new places and see new sites all the time. If we love a place, we can stay longer. And if we hate a place, we can keep moving on. So it's been really nice.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Worked up a sweat.
I know. The summer is probably one of the hardest seasons in the van. Not only is everything just way busier with kids off school and stuff like that, but it's just really hot. And it's kind of hard to escape the heat sometimes when you're in a van.
Yeah, and this is our first summer in the van. It has been so hot and the van kind of gets unbearable. When you're near water bodies or near the coast, maybe you can get away, but we're going inland and the heat is just inescapable whether you're inside or outside of your van.
Yeah, so when we were building our van, we had considered putting an AC unit in here, but the electrical needs and the demand for an AC is just way too high where it wouldn't be super practical to be able to run, but we did pick up a new device that should help out with the heat.
This is our new air cooler. It is the EvaSmart by evapolar, and we are so excited for it because it's working so well and it's really easy to use. All you have to do is fill the water tank with water. We just fill it from our sink, and it's USB powered, so we're able to power it with this power bank right here. You could also use a laptop, for example. You can update things like the lighting, the fan speed, you can set schedules, and much more right from the touchscreen on the device or through the app. If you want to get an evapolar air cooler as well, you can use our code CRUNCH20 to get 20% off of your air cooler. It'll help keep you cool all summer long. I know we're really excited about it, and we're gonna use it starting right now. Lunchtime! We have a Caesar salad with buffalo chicken for me, and I put in a wrap for Aaron because he doesn't like salad.
She's not wrong. And I also have to shout out Earned It Hazy IPA. So the first time I had this, we were actually in Breckenridge, Colorado. I knew that I could find it here. So I picked it up, and it's delicious.
And where is it from?
Snake River Brewing Co., which is just right down the street in Jackson, Wyoming. It's great.
Nice. Alright, taste the wrap. How is it?
Oh yeah, okay, fine. The beer's good.
We've been getting bored with our meals, so hopefully this is more exciting. Decent.
Decent. Very good.
3 hours later.
We've been working on content for the last few hours, and honestly, we don't really make much money off of content, but
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's our only non-zero stream of income at this point.
We'll take what we can get.
But I want to talk about the next question that is probably the most asked question for us. How do we afford to live in a van, and how do we afford this lifestyle?
Yeah, pretty much everyone asks this when we say we quit our jobs and live in a van to travel full time now. Honestly, we wanted to do van life since 2020. I feel like that's when it became very popular, but it wasn't realistic for us at that time. I know some people start van life without much money in their bank account and they just kind of go for it, but that scared us a little bit too much. So we stayed in our jobs a bit longer, started saving and thinking about when we would feel comfortable leaving our jobs. It was hard to quit our jobs initially because there was always a promotion around the corner, or I just left my job and started a new one and couldn't leave yet, and then Aaron started a new job and couldn't leave yet. So
bonuses, vesting programs, there's so many things that keep you hooked on a job. At some point you have to just cut your losses and just go for it, right? Because there's never going to be a time where everything just lines up perfectly.
Also, just like insert side note, we're 29 now, so we had been working for a while. We kind of had 5 finance buckets that we were kind of adding money into. We have a retirement bucket that we had been adding into for years, an investment bucket that we're planning on not touching at all, emergency fund, or kind of the padding we want once we're done with our gap year and traveling. And then we had our bucket of savings for the van build itself, like buying the van and all of the conversions that we needed to do. Lastly, we had the savings bucket for what we thought our gap year would cost. Luckily, there's a lot of people doing content right now, so I really did look at the monthly costs that people were posting, and I tried to find people that were similar to us, other couples that were living on the road with similar lifestyles. If they had a dog, even better.
Definitely depends on kind of your reason for van life, right? Some people do it to escape, you know, paying a landlord an absorbent amount of money. Some people do it, like us, to travel. In general, everything is just a giant math problem, right? So you gotta kind of figure out your own variables. You can watch other people's videos for kind of like these unexpected expenses to learn about, you know, something that you hadn't thought about, and plug it in, and then, you know, then you could try to target that amount.
Van life can be very expensive if you're someone who eats out a lot, pays for a lot of expensive experiences, always stays at paid campgrounds. And then on the other end, it can be very inexpensive if you kind of stay in one place and mostly do free camping and cook a lot of your meals and opt for free activities like hiking rather than maybe expensive, like, I don't know, helicopter rides. So really it comes down to your lifestyle, your choices. It can be as inexpensive or as luxurious as you make it. So let us know if you have any more questions about this. We're thinking about making more content around like the financial side of like saving up for the gap year, the van build, all that good stuff. So drop in the comments if you have any questions, and we'll probably be making more videos around that stuff.
Anyways, it is time to make dinner. Chef Aaron is tasked with it, so let's go cook something good. I have no idea what we're making yet, but we're about to find out.
Yeah, we just went grocery shopping, so we have a fully stacked fridge, so the world is your oyster.
All right, let's do it. For dinner, we are cooking up chicken thighs with bell peppers and potatoes. And I kind of just try to grab one of each food group. In this case, carbs is potatoes, vegetables, bell peppers, and of course the protein is chicken. Generally speaking, we try to only cook twice a day at most. Usually our only cold meal is lunch, And that's because with breakfast, you know, we don't always eat breakfast, but when we do, it's gotta be something good, right? You gotta cook it.
Cheers!
Alright guys, had to take a little pause on cooking dinner because the lads wanted to FaceTime. Van life can be a very isolating thing, so you gotta take all the opportunities that you can to talk with your friends.
Love you boys.
What's that?
I said you love your boys. Oh, thank you. Yum. Yum yum.
Yeah, not too shabby. Now you know why I call myself Chef Aaron, alright? But anyways, we're gonna do some dishwashing, which is always fun in the van. I'm gonna let you in on 2 little hints. The first tip that we have when it comes to washing dishes is try to wipe off all the gunk from the dishes before you wash it down your drain. After it drains to your gray tank, like it just kind of sits in there, right? All these oils and dirts and like probably meat stuff, and it sits there for a while, it heats up, it grows bacteria, and then it starts to go septic, right? It smells like Yellowstone, hot springs, sulfur, nasty, all right? Try to prevent stuff from going down your drain. And the second tip that we have is that we do have a stop valve on our sink faucet. So we actually just turned it to where like there's only just a little trickle of water coming out. You can see how much that is. Okay, I better stop there before I start wasting too much water. If you limit the water that goes down your drain, then you can survive longer, right? So we actually end up having just enough amount of water for us to go off grid for an entire week, which is pretty great. We have a 33-gallon freshwater tank as well as a 20-gallon gray water tank. So it's the perfect kind of ratio. Now you know. Stay tuned for more tips with Aaron. Chef Aaron.
What is that? Why are you crying? She's like, because I didn't get any chicken. It's not fair. Alright, we're gonna start winding down for the night. Aaron is setting up our projector right now. To be honest, we haven't pulled it out in a while, but we are wanting to watch some shows that we have not gotten to see the new seasons of. And I think we're gonna start with Severance. That should be fun. But thank you so much for spending the day with us. It may have been a little bit uneventful, but this is truly what our rest days are like. It's a lot of just relaxing, eating, catching up on content, and enjoying each other's company. So hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about van life or want to go more in depth behind the scenes on anything, let us know in the comments and we'll get back to you there or create some more content on it. We are planning on hitting like 30 more states this year, so if you want to follow along on our travel adventures, please subscribe and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Good night.